I'm Kalila Reynolds and welcome to Taking Stock. We're bringing you all the latest business news and telling you how it will affect you and your money. But before we get started, head over to my website, KalilaReynolds.com, to subscribe to our newsletter. You can click the link up here or in the description box below. Now come on, let's get this money.
First up, you may know Huawei for their cell phones and other communications technology, but did you know they're also big in the renewable energy space? Huawei has been using their strength in technology to provide smart solar solutions to the Caribbean. We'll hear more from Huawei's local director of Enterprise Business Group, Courtney Hamilton. And later, the analysts weigh in on the latest market developments. Diamond's IPO was 2 times oversubscribed, making it a huge success. The latest remittance report is out, showing Jamaicans abroad sending home more money than ever. And US earnings season is here. We'll give you an update on Facebook's performance, as well as China's Alibaba, after the reappearance of its founder Jack Ma.
But first, here's What's Hot, brought to you by Jamaica Money Market Brokers, your best interest at heart.
Maho Gaming Enterprise has officially broken Supreme Ventures' monopoly on the multi-billion-dollar gaming market with the start of Easy Games on Friday. Maho was given the go-ahead by the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission 2 days earlier. The company had signed a license on August 24 last year, but had to establish financial security as a condition to be given the nod by the regulators. Easy Lottery comes with 6 daily draws, 1, 3 and 4 ball games, a once daily lotto, and an all-day game played every 4 minutes. Meanwhile, the BGLC has also approved a player, Goodwill Gaming Enterprise. No word yet on when they plan to begin operations. A report from Nationwide News indicated that Goodwill's principals are well-known businessmen Ian Dare and Pradeep Vaswani. Maho Gaming has among its principals prominent business people P.B. Scott and Michelle Main Myers. Jamaicans abroad sent home almost 26% more money in November 2020 than they did a year earlier. According to data from the Bank of Jamaica, net remittance inflows increased by $40 million last November to roughly $221 million. Overall, Jamaicans abroad sent home $2.6 billion between January and November last year. The USA continues to be the largest source of net remittance inflows, with Canada, the UK, and the Cayman Islands also contributing notable shares. Remittances are one of Jamaica's largest sources of US dollars and contributes significantly to GDP. Scotia Group and Salada Foods Jamaica have filed individual claims in the Supreme Court seeking permission to hold their next annual general meetings AGMs virtually. The court will hear Scotia Group's application on February 19. Scotiabank President Audrey Tugwell Henry said the court's permission is necessary, as it's impractical to host 15,000 Scotiabank shareholders during this period, given the COVID-19 gathering restrictions. In the meantime, Salada is seeking permission to hold its general meetings up to 2023 partially or wholly by electronic means. Their claim will be heard a day earlier on February 18. Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce CIBC will retain its position as the largest shareholder in First Caribbean International Bank after a deal to sell its controlling interest to GNB Financial Group fell through. The impending sale did not meet the approval of FCIB's regulators. Last November, CIBC had said it would sell its majority stake in the bank for $797 million. GNB stood to gain 66.7% ownership of First Caribbean, while CIBC would have retained 24.9%. First Caribbean, which operates in 16 countries across the region, possesses assets valued at $12 billion and market capitalization of $2 billion. Jamaica's former Prime Minister Bruce Golding has been appointed chairman of First Rock Global Holdings Barbados Limited, a member of the First Rock Group. Golding has been appointed in a non-executive capacity of the company, along with newly appointed managing director Chris Young. Co-founder and CEO of First Rock Group Ryan Reid says Golding has a proven track record and will lead the board of directors as they develop and build out First Rock Group. Golding brings expertise in business, economics, and public administration.
What's Hot was brought to you by Jamaica Money Market Brokers, your best interest at heart. And when we come back, we'll take a look at Huawei's plans to improve renewable energy for Jamaica and the Caribbean. This segment of Taking Stock is brought to you by Bulwark Insurance Agency, insurance made easy, and Massey United Insurance. How good is your insurance? Welcome back to Taking Stock. Jamaica has an ambitious goal of generating half of its energy from renewables by 2037. Global tech giant Huawei wants to be a part of making that a reality. They're entering the space in a big way. Huawei's Director of Enterprise Business Group Jamaica office, Courtney Hamilton, is here, and that office also covers the Bahamas, Cayman Islands, Turks and Caicos, and Haiti. Hi, Courtney. Welcome to Taking Stock.
Hi, Kalila. Thanks for having me.
So Huawei, I mean, this is interesting hearing what you guys have become involved in, because I've always thought of Huawei as primarily a cell phone company. You make technology, so you have your various communications devices, but you're also in energy. Tell me some more.
It's really an extension of what we do. Huawei is one of the leading global ITC solutions company. And, we're in 170 countries. We're serve over 3 billion people. And we're number 49 on the Forbes 500 list for last year. And we have taken our ITC tech, right? And we have implemented that inside the inverters that we manufacture. So what we have been able to do is to develop leading smart PV solutions for the marketplace.
Tell me what that means. Smart PV solutions. What's PV?
So PV is photovoltaic. When you talk PV, you're talking solar. Right? And what we have done is we have been able to incorporate the latest ITC technologies inside our solution, creating a highly efficient, safe, reliable, and most importantly, a smart overall solar solution for customers. Both.
So what does it do when you say it's a smart solar solution? How is it different from a dumb one, so to speak?
It's really comes down to the operations and management. We have developed an application that allows both from the installers to the users themselves to have everything connected, so they know, what their efficiency level is, so they know if there are any issues with the system, right? So it's looking at the inverter, it's looking at the batteries, it's looking at the optimizer, all of the things that help to make up a solar solution.
And who are you making this available to at this point?
Well, we make solutions for the 3 areas of the market: the residential customer, right? Folks like you and me who wants to cut their electricity bills. We're making it for commercial users, businesses, factories, so on, who wants to again cut consumption, and also in the utility space where providers are building big solar farms that will serve the grid, right, through necessary agreements with, JPSCO in this case as the provider in Jamaica.
So you do sell retail?
Yes, our partners are engaging with retail customers, homeowners, businesses, anyone who is looking at their electricity consumption or looking at their carbon footprint and saying, hey, what can I do to reduce this?
You also have a partnership, which is how I heard about this whole involvement in solar. You have a partnership with Fosrich, which we know as a lighting company. What is the involvement between the two?
Well, Fosrich also has an energy division, and they have come on as a Huawei partner. And this means that they will be helping us in the marketplace to drive the business and helping customers to who wants the solutions to get it. They're going to be they're also looking to help regular installers who you may not be stocking the equipment or anything like that, but you have the knowledge and the skill sets to be able to install it for customers. So, those folks would be able to go to them to buy the equipment and so on.
So you guys have come a very long way, because 10 years ago, when you heard the name Huawei, I thought, okay, more affordable version of Samsung or iPhone, But now when you look at Huawei phones, they are comparable in terms of the technology and price point too. You guys have become very competitive. But the other thing is that it's also been a very controversial brand name in recent times, because it is a Chinese or a China-based company, and there have been concerns about Huawei using intelligence to spy on people. So there's the trust element as well. What do you have to say to those types of concerns?
Those are really unfounded, and Huawei is a great company. Huawei is a global leader in the technology space. And, we've been doing a fantastic job putting great products out there in front of our customers. And, that really shows in the gains that we've been able to make over the years. Huawei has some 30% of the mobile market. But, I'm not here to talk about that today, only to say that, we are committed to providing the most secure products and the best products that are out there.
But at the same time, there has been a lot of pressure on the company and on governments around the world not to do business with Huawei. Here in Jamaica, you guys have been doing business and you've been doing quite well. What's the relationship like with the Jamaican government?
We are every day engaging with our customers and the wider ecosystem within the market. We're really just focused on doing business and serving our customers. Mm-hmm. We're really less concerned about all the chatter.
But it's not just chatter when you've been prohibited from doing business in some places. It goes beyond chatter, doesn't it?
As I said, it's those are not things I could speak on. I'll leave the geopolitical things for other folks.
Okay, I understand, no problem. So tell me about your presence in the Caribbean region, because I feel like I've been hearing the Huawei name a lot more. What's the overall involvement in this region? What are you doing here and what are your plans?
Well, Huawei is, people talk about Huawei as if we're a company that's, the other side of the world. The fact is we're right here in the region. We have a really massive footprint in the region with over 3,000 employees across the region, right? Numerous offices located all the way from, Dominican Republic in the north, all the way down to Trinidad, all the way down to Central America, down in Panama and beyond. So we have a real commitment to this region and to the people of this region. Here in Jamaica, we have an office right here in Jamaica, some 40 plus employees. So we're very committed to the region. We are involved in all of the key areas that we do business in, whether it's on the carrier side or in the enterprise space, or on the consumer side.
Is it more, do you do any of your product development here?
No, we don't have any product development here. On this side of the world, it's mostly sales engagement and support.
What are the opportunities you see for a company like Huawei in the region? Because when I asked you that question just now, if you do any product development here, there's been a concern that as Caribbean people and Jamaicans, we tend to be more consumers of technology rather than, advancing technology as well. So do you see opportunities here for us to get more involved in the production of technology and possible partnerships there?
Speaking about Jamaica itself, I wouldn't be able to speak about Huawei's intentions in that regard. But in terms of us as a country, sure, I think we have a tremendous opportunity to do more here. We have spoken about it, from over many years now. We're starting to take some steps in terms of developing the kind of skill sets that we would need here to be able to do those things. As we move from, just regular first level type customer service type support in the BPOs and so on, we have an opportunity to move up the food chain, as you'd say, to more technical activities, which will require different types of skill sets, which, we have some of that here, and we are doing quite a bit now to develop that some more here. So, there are things we can do, and it is for us to set the policy objectives and really work hard at achieving it.
Right. So you've expanded into renewable energy. How big of an opportunity do you see that particular market? Is it growing at a pace that you would expect, or people still been reluctant, or have people still been reluctant to embrace renewable energy?
It's a huge opportunity. We have only now starting to scratch at the surface, frankly. We are the land of sunshine, right? We have an opportunity here to harness that. What we've started to do now, right, is to put all the regulations and all the things in place that will allow, residential customers, commercial customers to have these types of solutions. And, now that we've started to do that, I believe that you will see a much quicker take-up. I believe it's going to grow exponentially in the years to come.
I think the main barrier has been cost in terms of renewable. And I know those prices have been coming down over the years, but how does the Huawei suite of products compare cost-wise? You said it's smart technology. That sounds expensive.
We're extremely competitive in this space. And I think, once it's an investment that customers will make, but we know the cost of electricity here in Jamaica. It's going to pay for itself in real short order. So, while it is it's a significant investment, I think it's a good investment, and it will show customers real returns in relatively short period of time.
So how much would it cost me to do your average 3-bedroom house?
Oh Lord. I can't really give any costing off the bat.
So when it comes to this part of the business, the renewable energy part as opposed to the ICT, how established are you here? Because there are other players who are providing solar solutions. What's your market position now?
Well, in Jamaica, we're new here. But
how long have you been offering this? here?
We've only just started to offer our fusion solar solution in Jamaica, in the last 3 months. However, in the world, we're number one.
Really?
In the wider region, we're number one. I'm pretty confident that, within a relatively short period of time, right, Jamaica will follow the rest of the world in making Huawei the number one choice for solar.
For solar. I had no idea, because that name is just still so
not synonymous with that.
Communications. It's not synonymous with renewable energy, with solar. So how are you getting the word out that this is something that you do too? And
we've been doing
number one in the world.
We've been doing a number of things, working through our partners. We plan to do more in terms of kind of over the top type advertising and that kind of outreach to the market. But we really work through our partners, and we'll be working very closely with them to get the word out to customers.
Well, thank you so much, Courtney. Thank you for joining me, and all the best.
Thank you very much for having me. Thanks a lot.
Right, good. Up next, we've got your market recap, and the analysts are standing by. This segment of Taking Stock was brought to you by Bulwark Insurance Agency, insurance made easy, and Massey United Insurance. How good is your insurance?
Time now for your market recap, brought to you by Sagicor Investments. Think wealth, think Sagicor Investments. The Jamaica Stock Exchange advanced, with the combined index gaining less than 1%. 101 stocks traded across both the main and junior markets of the JSE for the week ending Friday, February 5, 2021. 44 advanced, 48 declined, and 9 stayed the same. 145 million shares changed hands on the Jamaican dollar market, totaling $712 million. Carreras traded the most, taking up nearly 23% of market volume. The stock gained 3 cents to open the week at $6.92. Wigton Wind Farm ordinary shares traded the second highest, with people buying and selling 18 million shares in the company. The stock gained 1 cent to open the week at 75 cents. And the Lab rounded out the most traded, taking up nearly 8% of market volume. The stock lost 15 cents to close last week at $2.52. Now let's see who had the biggest gains. Siboney Group jumped 52% to close last week at 35 cents. T-Tech rose nearly 19% to close last week at $4.85. And rounding off the biggest gains, Salada Foods Jamaica stock advanced 18% to open this week at $44.24. On the losing side now, JMMB Group 7.25% VR JMD CR preference shares fell at 25% to close last week at $1.38. Palace Amusement Company fell nearly 14% to end last week at $905.50 a share. Rounding off the biggest losers, Paramount Trading Jamaica lost 12%, down to $1.27. Market recap was brought to you by Sagicor Investments. Think wealth, think Sagicor Investments.
This segment of Taking Stock, The Analysts, is brought to you by Ideal Portfolio Services. Welcome back to Taking Stock. I've got a team of analysts to examine the week in business. I'm joined by Senior Wealth Advisor at Ideal Portfolio Services, Oric Angus, and Research and Strategy Analyst at Sagicor Investments, Jody Ann Aris. Welcome back, Jody. Welcome back, Oric.
Hi, Kalila. Thanks for having me.
So let's get right into it this week. On the local scene, we have Derrimon Trading's APO. The basis of allotment has been announced. And so it seems that you had the best chance if you subscribed with the with the lead broker, Jody Ann.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So first off, I just want to point out that, it was oversubscribed 2 times. So, there is money out there in the market. And so people had shown very much a keen interest in investing in Derrimon. Yes, lead broker clients would have gotten a higher allotment, but also bear in mind that the amount that was reserved for lead broker clients was probably a third of what existing shareholders and general public would have gotten. So their reserve amount would have been lower than what would have for most of the other classes or groups or investor pools that were there. So I mean, they definitely had seem as though, but I mean, I guess probably if you had more allotted for them there, probably would have had a similar basis of allotment there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it seems that that Mayberry's intervention didn't affect this APO at all, Auric.
Yeah, I don't think Mayberry's intervention really affected the outcome of the IPO or the large attraction that they got. I mean, just looking at the allotment numbers right now, the general pool only got 39.15%. So it tells you really and truly that a lot of people were trying to gobble up this IPO. Looking at the overall allotment percentage, I mean, you'd be more benefit. You get more benefit if you had were a lead broker client, but overall, I think it looks fairly pretty good to me. But I wasn't really convinced about the upsides until I look at this number. So
yeah, because even the key team members, team members only got half of their allotment. That says a lot.
Yeah. So it's good. Kudos to them and congrats.
Indeed. Congratulations to them. We're looking forward to big things from Dermont Trading in 2021 and beyond. They're definitely one of the stocks to watch. So there's other news on the local market that doesn't have to do with stocks, Jody Ann. You've been looking at the remittance numbers. That's the money that Jamaicans abroad send back home. And that money is way up.
Yes. So we've seen some growth in remittance inflows. In fact, if you look at the full calendar year, there are only 2 months out of the year on year, that there wasn't growth in inflows in remittance. And that would have been, I think, April and March. But otherwise, for all the other months thus far up to November, we have seen an increase year on year for remittance inflows. And I think the central bank had pointed to that, it's even though we had anticipated or expected that maybe, with a crisis, persons would have less disposable income. So we probably would have seen less remittance coming into the island. That isn't the case. And it possibly could be because some persons who would typically travel or visit and then, have funds to family members aren't able to travel. And as such, they may be just sending that and it's captured in a new way. Could be part of why we're seeing the increase, as well as just overall general persons wanting to give back, considering that there is, the situation that we have with COVID, where, a lot of persons for school, we have received quite a bit of alma maters giving back in terms of tablets and donations. Mm-hmm. So that could have been a part of the reason for the spike. You also want to look at outflows.
Before we move on to outflows, Jody Ann, let me just share my screen and show the viewers what we're talking about when you said a spike. Now, this is quite a significant spike right here. So look here. So we go from negative and come up, and look at how that number just goes way up to 36.9% growth in net remittances. So it's way up. So tell me now about the outflow. So the money that Jamaicans are sending to people abroad, family abroad.
So it's the opposite of what we're seeing for inflow. So on outflow side, we're seeing that we're sending less money abroad. And so I think when you look at the throughout the calendar year, there was only 1 month that outflows was up, and that would have been for February. And part of the reason that could contribute to this is that students, typically some outflows would go for students who study abroad. So the parents would probably send funds. And during the period of COVID, quite a bit of students came back home. And as such, there isn't really a need to send funds for them, seeing that they're at home, as well as they may still be doing classes here while, taking their education, but just doing it from home via online learning opportunities. So we're seeing on one side inflows increasing, and on the other side, outflows decreasing, and that would have given us that big spike that we saw there for net. So the net is the difference between the inflows and the outflows, and so concerned that one side is decreasing and one side growing, then we're seeing that big spike.
Right,
for
right, right.
2020.
So there's stuff going on the foreign market as well. There's been quite a bit of activity the past couple of weeks and controversy too. But Oric, you've been looking at the earnings reports coming out. So what stands out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at them, and I've been seeing some good numbers. I think the market is mainly being propped up by stimulus packages these days. So quality is where it matters the most. Quality, when I'm seeing a lot of healthy results, and I'm hoping that they might be sustainable in time to come. So Facebook delivered favorable results. Apple, Visa, PayPal, eBay, all of those techie companies have delivered good results in the past couple weeks since the season kicks off. Alibaba in particular is the most recent one. I've been looking at that one throughout the week. The company revenue came in at around 37% increase over the last since the close of December last year versus an estimate of around 214 million. The company delivered results of about 221. So that's way above what analysts were expecting.
Strong results, but the share price is still down. Why
the
is
share
that?
price is down, and I think the market is mainly focused on the regulatory risks that might be obscuring Alibaba right now. I mean, there has been changes in terms of in the financial market in China and the fintech companies. So, for example, Alibaba Ant Group, which was planning to do their IPO, Jack Ma's Ant Group, which was planning to do their IPO last year, had to cancel it because of these changes in regulation. And investors are also concerned with how those regulations might affect the company in time to come. But I think with the price that is trading on right now, it presents a buying opportunity, in my opinion. Obviously, investors are also concerned about Jack Ma's disappearance last year before he resurfaced in January. So,
right. I was going to say it's not just about the regulatory issues.
Exactly.
Those are not the overall issues, but personal issues as well. Personal concern for the safety of Jack Ma. He had disappeared. Basically, nobody had seen him in public for several weeks. Now he's reappeared, but there was concern that he is now at odds with the Chinese government, and because of that, they. No, let me not really say anymore. You can imply what you want, infer what you want.
Those are external factors to consider. I mean, the stock is down roughly 17% from its high in October. The fundamentals are there. They're really strong, and I think not saying that you should ignore all of the regulatory and the disappearance of Jack Ma, but if you focus mainly on the fundamentals, it does present a buying opportunity at this time. I mean, the revenues are solid, balance sheet is solid, profit margins are there. I think that if you're looking long term, I think the growth will be sustainable for some time to come. So, I mean, ignoring all of that, I think it will blow over maybe a short-term period, and then you can really be gaining some opportunities right there, in my opinion.
You think the regulatory issues will blow over?
Well,
what will
what you find that companies will adjust to these issues, So if it's a case where Alibaba has to align themselves in regards to those new regulations, I think over time the results will start to prop up again in terms of the stock price. Well, so that's my opinion.
Time will tell if you're right, Oric.
Exactly.
We'll come back to this in a year.
Like I said, the fundamentals are there. I mean, last year in October, the company had, in just one day, they exceeded what the US market Black Friday, Cyber Monday sales would have been. So they are doing well. They are doing extremely. The e-commerce business, which is their core business, is really doing well, and that's over 50% of their revenue margin. So I really like them at this point, but at the same time, we have to look at things holistically in terms of the regulations that they're facing right now.
Yeah, they're based in China. To what extent are they?
China.
Well, they're a global company, really, but to what extent are they active in this part of the world?
Are they what? Sorry?
Active. So to what extent do people in this part of the world use Alibaba? Because right now, it seems like Amazon
a lot of people do. Funny enough, a lot of people do, and I'm actually surprised just by talking to some people. So a lot of
more than
persons
Amazon?
who are in retail business, yeah, man. A lot of persons who are in retail business, they order from Alibaba Group on this side of the world. Well, I can speak of Jamaica, and I have a couple of friends in Barbados that does the same. And even people in the US use it as well. So it's not just Amazon.
Yeah. As I mentioned, Amazon, so there was news that Jeff Bezos is stepping down and there's going to be a new boss over there at Amazon. Well, he's changing roles, but stepping down from the day-to-day. So that's big news in that industry
I think
well.
Mark Zuckerberg is the only founding CEO of those big tech companies that are still standing right now. That is still standing right now. So everybody else has stepped down, really, or passed.
Well, thanks for joining me, Jody Ann and Oric. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Kalila.
Thank you.
Bye, Jody.
This segment of Taking Stock, The Analysts, was brought to you by Ideal Portfolio Services. That's our show for this week. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share with a friend. Also subscribe to our newsletter at KalilaReynolds.com and turn on those post notifications so that you can be the first to see all of my other features. We want to help people learn more about money so we can all get this money together. This week on Money Mondays JA, I'm breaking down the steps to home ownership. Here's what you need to do to buy a house in Jamaica. On Money Moves JA, Dr. Canute Thompson is back with another gem-filled episode on leadership. You don't want to miss his insights. It's deep stuff. And we also have a special episode of What's in It for Me this week. We're talking about reforming the way government manages its money. It could mean you get paid faster. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Kalila Ray, and follow at Taking Stock JA on Instagram. If you want to connect with the analysts this week, check the description box below for their contact information. Also visit our website, KalilaReynolds.com, for financial information you can use however you like it. Watch, listen, or read. Now tell a friend about Taking Stock, because investing is the new sexy. So let's make it cool to talk about money. I'm Kalila Reynolds. Stay safe.
Let's get this money.